I'm going to tell you about some dreams I've had lately. Now, the weird thing about these dreams is that they take place in crowds of people. You may not think that's weird, but I do. It's just that I'm not all that comfortable being around people. So crowds of people really freak me out. Dream 1. I'm at an event for kids. I recognize a lot of the adults as parents of kids that went to school with my kids. All of a sudden, the crowd begins to move in one direction. And some kind of mall-like structure, a narrow corridor. But the weird thing about this mall is that all of the stores and shops are on the right side. I go into one of the shops. It's an arcade with old-fashioned pinball machines, bells and lights. After a few minutes, I go back out into the mall, and I join the crowd of people moving in the same direction. We're no longer in the mall, but in the hallway of the Winchell Way apartments, where I used to live when I was in my late 20s. I'm with a friend of mine from art school, whose name is Mark Palermo. We're going to his apartment to retrieve something that he'd forgotten earlier. We go in. He apologizes for the mess. A big white cat comes up to me. I hate cats. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm allergic to them. Anyway, we go back out in the hallway, and now we're at the Park Trade Center. It's an old warehouse where I have a studio. Mark's talking to John Thingstad, the owner. John says to me, "You used to live here." I say, "I know." He says, "Room 335. He says, "You should come back." John's a super nice guy and everything, but he intimidates me a bit. All guys his age make me feel that way. As we're leaving the building, I look out over my left shoulder and I see an old man standing on a ramped platform, covered in bright green astroturf. He's barefoot, and he has tiny little dots of blood in the pattern that you might see on wing-tipped golf shoes on his feet. He's swinging at some golf balls with a beat-up old paintbrush. He's pretty bad at it, missing every time. New dream. I'm at some kind of party. It's outside. I'm standing in a group of people and I'm talking to them and I'm telling them that all my life I've wanted to make a significant contribution to humanity. But as of yet I haven't managed to do it. I'm postulating that perhaps it's because I haven't found my right vocation yet, whatever that is. New dream. I'm walking along at an art exhibition where my work is being hung in a group show. My first wife, Leah, is there. I haven't seen her in 27 years. She's a curator, and I believe she helped curate the show. I ask her what work she likes the best, and she picks out a bunch of work with text. None of it's mine. She says she likes text. I say I like it too, but not all work has to be the same. I ask her what she thinks of my work. She says, it's okay if you like aspirin, but what you really need is something stronger. Now what's that supposed to mean? Anyway, I'm looking at my work and I realize somebody's altered it by putting found objects on it. I say I kind of like it, but other people don't seem so impressed. Still has my name on it. I ask Leah what she thinks of the show in general, and she says, I don't know, and shrugs. I say it looks pretty good, it's kind of crowded, but I like the way it's hung. It looks a little like an art van showroom with rows of furniture and stuff. New dream. I'm in a natatorium. And I'm talking to people about swimming. I'm standing in a circle of about 5 people, and we all have swim gear on. Little goggles, and bathing caps, and Speedo suits. I'm thinking about when I used to be a competitive swimmer. I say I used to be pretty good, but then I doubt the words as they come out of my mouth. I'm scheduled to swim pretty soon, and I'm kind of worried. I realize it's been 35 years since I was on a swim team. New dream. My dad is lying on the floor. He's got a blanket on him. I don't think he has any clothes on. He's still pretty sick, but I think he can talk pretty well, and I think I can understand him. He tells me that when you get older, your stomach gets bigger. Then he turns over and shows me his butt, and he says, and your butt gets smaller. I'm telling somebody about this, and I tell them that he had ALS. New dream. I'm at a country club. It's at some kind of wedding or something. You get the idea now. I'm standing in a crowd of people. It's kind of late in the evening, and it seems like it must be cold and cloudy because people are wearing jackets and long sleeves. Isn't it weird how you never really notice the temperature or weather conditions in dreams unless the dream has something to do with how hot or cold it is? Anyway, like I said, I'm at a reception. People are milling about, and it takes place mostly outside. There's 2 tiers. One level is a patio and a grassy area, and the other level is a balcony. Hanging off the balcony is a big black tent. People are underneath the tent eating and drinking and talking, because that's where the bar is. I'm wandering around under the tent because I don't know anybody. In fact, it occurs to me for a split second, I don't even know why I'm there. I know I'm supposed to be there, but I don't know why. Anyway, all of a sudden, the tent starts coming down as if the staff decided to close up for the evening and they haven't told anybody. The tent's coming down and I can't get out from underneath it. Eventually I escaped to another area of the country grounds. It's not a lawn or grassy area like you'd expect, with a hard surface with a little grass and kind of a swell in it. It looks like a place where they normally park cars, but there aren't any cars, just people wandering around. They're all dressed kind of casually. In fact, most of them have sports attire on. A guy who used to be the coach of one of my kids' tennis team walks by. I recognize him as a pediatrician from the area. He's wearing a sweatshirt and a baseball cap, and he's carrying 2 baseball bats and a bag of softballs. Apparently, he's pretty good at softball. Anyway, he's looking for a place to hit the softballs. All of a sudden, I hear someone say, "Seems like football season," whatever that means. Anyway, the guy's looking for a place to hit the softballs, but he's afraid he's going to knock one into someone. He tosses one in the air and it drops directly at his feet. He does this half a dozen more times, and then he finally connects and knocks one out over the crowd. New dream. I'm talking to an old guy. He appears to be a surgeon. He's telling me that he has to perform some kind of procedure on me. Apparently, I had a heart attack. I didn't even know about it. He says he has to stick a long needle down the nape of my neck into my heart. I'm kind of worried about it. He doesn't sound like he knows what he's talking about. I'm thinking it's time to get a new doctor. But I'm kind of lazy about that sort of thing.